All right, so Bad Batch episode 10 of season 2 was called Retrieval. And obviously it's called that because the Bad Batch is going to be trying to get their ship back
Yep, they're still
from
on
the
that
last
planet.
episode. Which they still didn't say the name, I don't think.
They have
Unless
not.
I just missed it.
They have not.
We start at the same spaceport that we left the crew off at the last episode. We find out Wrecker ate all of the gang's rations.
Or
So
I think
they
it
have
was
no
just
food left.
his. It was just his
Or-
rations. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because Omega still had some of hers, I guess,
Mhm.
later on. So it might have been just his rations, his portion.
Yeah.
They're working on like a skiff. They're trying to get a skiff to work so they can go to like the nearest town or something to try to get help.
And a skiff is a speeder, so just to let anyone know.
Don't know that.
Yeah.
But,
And
Omega decides that they might be able to find their ship by tracking Gonk, which is their defective Gonk droid that they got in season 1. They think maybe if they can track his signal, they'll be able to locate the ship and everything. And so the rest of the gang's like, sure, yeah, that seems like a good idea. So Omega goes off to do that, and then we cut over to the thief that's flying the ship. And they arrive at some sort of civilization. Did they say the name of the town?
I don't remember the name if they did, but they were not a good pilot.
Not really, but they're also a kid, so
That's true. Yeah.
it's revealed that it's a kid. The kid's name is Benny, and then he's delivering the ship to this like the gang leader called Mako. And he's like got this whole mining operation. He's like the boss of the, I guess, kind of planet. They kind of implied that he was kind of the boss.
It is a Ipium planet, so they're mining Ipium, obviously, and it's a whole
Ipsium,
installation.
not Ipium.
God,
But just
Ipsium. Yeah.
it's okay.
And it's a whole planet dedicated to mining that. So
Yeah.
Mako's the boss of that. Kind of like what's that one planet where it's like the spice?
Hondo?
I don't know. It's
that
like a
what you're trying to say?
Battlefront 2 map.
Oh, Kessel?
Kessel, yeah, kind of like Kessel.
I thought you were trying to say Mako was like Hondo.
No.
Clone Wars
No.
and stuff.
I mean, he is.
I
don't know.
I mean, in a way, but Hondo I don't feel like is as cruel with his
No,
people.
definitely not. Yeah.
So,
But-
but I get what you're saying. You're referring to planets kind of like
Yeah.
Kessel. Gotcha.
But Benny's delivering the ship to Mako, so he's
trying to become the top earner.
the top earner, and he pilots it to the garage bay, where Mako like says great job and everything, but
Yeah.
like when Benny thinks that he's gonna get extra water and stuff, Mako like drinks half the bottle.
I thought he was gonna drink all of it and not give him
Yeah.
any when that happened. But he did at least give Benny some. So I guess there's that. But I also want to point out Mako's security droids. They look very similar to like commando droids.
Yeah.
And they're definitely like battle droid inspired because they had the same kind of like arms and legs.
And
same
they're
kind of
they're not
limbs.
holding blasters or anything because it's a Ipsium mine. So
Yeah, they don't want to blow the place up, so they have like shock sticks.
Kind of like Kessel again, right? I mean, I think
True,
they had
true.
shock sticks and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so. But they also shot blasters there
That's
because it
true.
wasn't
Yeah.
as like it was spice. It wasn't gonna blow up. But
And Benny's like really happy to get some water, and they all love.
yeah, just a
Mako.
little bit.
Yeah, they all love
Yeah, I
Mako.
know.
Though. I don't know. Even
I mean,
after
they
that,
kind of view him as their savior, I think,
I guess,
because at least as of right now, and we find out later in the episode this changes, but as of right now, they think that they're only alive because of him, and they think that everything he's doing for them is like out of the kindness of his heart. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. And
But-
and he's the only reason that they're
we
surviving.
cut back.
So
Oh yeah, I mean, I've
that's what
barely
they think.
surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah. We cut back to the Bad Batch. They've fixed the skiff. They get a hold of Gonki's signal, and so they arrive at that same civilization. They go there. They confront Benny. Benny tries to escape, but he fails miserably because the Bad Batch is just too skilled for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he thinks they're just random miners. He doesn't realize who they are.
Yeah.
But they convince Benny to lead them to the ship, even though he doesn't want to because he doesn't want to risk his relationship with Mako. He's trying to, I
He's
guess,
trying to gain
increase
his
his
trust.
status.
Yeah.
Yeah. While on the way there, Benny talks about how the Techno Union used to control these mines, which I thought is interesting because that's the Techno Union is Wat Tambor.
Yeah.
And
they were with the Separatists.
The Separatists, yeah. And the Techno Union are also the ones that had control of Echo during season 7 when they find him. So I think it would have been interesting if Echo was still part of the gang, and like, I would have liked to see his reaction to Benny saying that. But unfortunately, Echo is preoccupied somewhere else.
On whatever missions he's doing. But
yeah, with Rex.
Yeah, they like convince Benny to lead him to the ship. And they scout out the installation, and they find the only way to get in is like from this steam chute.
It's like a it's like a hold on, I wrote it down here. Like a stack column, like at factories and stuff. That's like what it is.
Yeah.
And they only have a 60-second window in between bursts to get inside safely, unless they would be like disintegrated by like the acid stuff.
And they have
so
to
they go in
down
there. Yeah, Hunter propels down there by himself, and right as he's going down, there's a droid that comes out like to do the security check.
Yeah.
And Hunter has to fight the droid, and it was kind of a neat little like hand-to-hand combat thing.
Yeah.
As like the rest of the crew's like counting down over the comms, like how much time he has left. But Hunter's able to force the droid away long enough so that he can get inside right as the burst happens again and kills the droid. And then Hunter lets the rest of the group inside as well. They, as they're heading towards the garage bay, towards their ship, they see a massive mining operation, and we see like how bad the conditions really are for the miners and like all of Mako's.
It really
group,
looked like
I guess.
slaves. Like they did not.
I mean,
they were.
They 100% were like they didn't know it, but they were being used clearly, and you could just tell, like, even with all the droids everywhere, like, kind of monitoring, like, it's clear they didn't have free will.
Yeah.
They were just kind of being forced into it. But we arrive to the ship. We see the ship has been basically torn apart for parts and stuff because Mako was going to sell it in parts.
Yeah.
To be discreet. And so while the rest of the crew is going to try to put that back together,
they need to fix the hyperdrive specifically because they took that out.
Yeah. And like while they're repairing it, Tech talks about there's other like systems that he has to kind of fix while he goes along, or like reboot, I guess. But while they're talking about that, they realize they need to disable the ray shield at the central tower because without disabling that, they won't be able to get out in the first place.
And Benny tells them it's in the control tower, so Omega and Benny.
He wants to go by himself.
Yeah.
Because he says the Bad Batch would be too obvious.
Yeah.
It would stand out too much. But he says if someone has to come with him, it would be Omega, since Omega's not as obvious as the rest of them.
Yeah. And Omega gets like a big jacket or something to blend in.
Just kind of covers her up a little bit. Yeah, kind of. It looks like one of the same kind of design as what the rest of them wear.
Yeah. And they're like heading to the cafeteria, but first they stop in they're heading to the control room, but they first stop in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And you get to see
Benny starts talking to some dude named Drake.
And they're like in his personal circle, like Drake's like close to Mako, I guess you could say.
I think he's the one who's like the most consistently the top earner.
Yeah.
So,
which we learn right after that the top earner is the one who gets like a whole bowl of soup, and I didn't know they were rationed this bad.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that bad either. Like after it's shown that like Drake won again, which of course upsets Benny. Like we see Drake gets a whole thing to himself, but then the rest of the people still get something, but it's just one bowl of food, and they all have to like fight over it.
Yeah, it's like 10 kids who have to fight over it.
And just before that too, we saw that Mako was like having an absolute feast completely by himself.
Yeah,
he was absolutely devouring stuff just completely by himself.
I'm sure he didn't finish like any of it too.
No, like that's just to let us as the viewer know what's truly kind of going on behind the scenes.
While he was like giving a speech to the kids, he said like, we've all suffered, including me.
Yeah, he was just like putting up a whole show. Yeah. And Benny stole the like security pass.
Yeah, the security pass to get into the control room. Yeah. I don't know why the kids like have that pass, because we learn later like the stuff in the control room could have exposed.
It's so important. I feel like only Mako should have that.
Yeah, but like how do the kids not find out if they have that security pass to get there?
Yeah, how did Drake not go in there himself? And like, I guess it's kind of like we said though. They had no reason to not trust him, because in their eyes he saved them.
Yeah.
So
and they're probably too busy like trying to work
doing their
food.
stuff anyway. Yeah.
So they get to the control room after that, and Omega starts like trying to disable the thing, and we see
she's trying to disable it and like extract the security code.
And we see Benny in the background, like he presses a button.
He presses a button behind her back,
which obviously we know is like he's betraying her and sending like an alert or something.
And right after he does that too, he has like that nice conversation with Omega, and then Omega gives him the food, and it's like some of her rations, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see he feels bad too after that happens.
And then Omega like stumbles upon the prophets of Mako and the place, and you can see like Mako was lying about the Ipsium being degraded, because at the start
it was perfectly fine.
At the start we learned Mako's telling the kids that the Ipsium's degraded, so they had to like cut their salary.
They're not able to get as much money.
But it was obviously a lie. The Ipsium's perfectly fine.
And, he's just trying to save more for himself. And while that happens too, a couple of the workers stumble upon the Bad Batch fixing the ship, and Hunter chases after him to try to stop him, but they're too late, and they're able to like report back. So.
And then we see Mako and some security droids come in and arrest Omega.
Revealing he's like, "Good job, Benny. You'll be a top earner soon enough." And it's like, even after that, he wasn't gonna give him anything, and it was like, come on.
And Benny's like looking at the security pad or the
he's like contemplating what he should do.
And then there's like a standoff on the bridge in the mine. Between like the Bad Batch and Mako and the droids, and then even the kids come.
And the workers, because at this moment they're on Mako's side, but then Benny comes running out. He makes the decision like to help the Bad Batch, and like he runs out and he confronts Mako about like the lies and the prophets and everything, and he does this in front of the other workers. And the Drake guy actually takes a look at the like little data pad thing, and then he gets all mad, at which convinces the other workers too, because like it shows Benny's not just lying or whatever.
For a split second I thought Drake was gonna like throw it away.
I did too. Like, I thought Drake was gonna be like maybe protect Mako or something, and that's why he had the pass, because he also knew, and maybe like him and Mako were in league with each other, and that's why like Drake always got top earner, like even if he didn't earn it, Mako was just giving it to him.
But that was not the case, and all the kids turn on Mako, and the Bad Batch
Mako orders Omega to be thrown off the edge. Hunter grapples up and saves her while she's falling, kind of like Batman. It kind of seemed like a Batman move,
the grappling
hook and everything. Tech and Wrecker shoot Mako's security droids
without
Mako
missing.
Tries to fall, and they comment that
if they do miss. If they do miss, everything explodes.
Blow up. The kids, Mako tries to defend himself from the kids, and he's like super clumsy and like throws himself over the railing. And while he's hanging there, for some reason Benny comes over and is like, "Take my hand," like to try to save him. But then while that happens, Mako insults Benny and says, "You never should have betrayed me," and then he just falls and
I think he tried to like pull him off too with his like hook arm.
With his robot arm. But he failed miserably, and then just fell to his death. And then the Bad Batch get their stuff back. Omega and Tech kind of have another nice little conversation where like Omega's like, we've seen so many threats, more than just the Empire, like corrupt people like this. And then Tech's basically like, but there's a lot of good people like us, and he's like, and that stands for something. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that
I like
was
that
cool.
little.
We also learned Benny's just gonna stay there and keep on mining Ipsium because they're all good at it. And at least
they're all good now. Like everyone's gonna get an equal share.
Yeah.
So
I was
they don't
kinda
mind
interested
it much,
by that though, because like Benny could have like done whatever there, but they choose to like stay and mine Ipsium, which I don't think would be a fun thing to do. But at least they have each other.
I think it's all they know.
Yeah.
I think he talked about it's all he's ever known. He's only ever lived there, and then plus, if they're all getting an equal share, it's not as bad. Yeah. It'll be easier on all of them.
I do wonder if the Empire's gonna like go there though.
Eventually, probably, because it's a valuable mineral, and like the Empire extracts all that kind of stuff. So
I don't know. Maybe
I mean, they did it with Jeddah for the kyber crystals. So we learned that in like Rogue One and stuff. So I don't know if we'll ever see it, but I'd say it's a safe bet that it would happen.
Oh yeah. Hopefully Benny's alright in his life though.
Hopefully. I actually liked him. I thought he was
pretty
a cool
nice,
character.
He's like your ordinary guy, you know, just trying to.
And so they get their stuff back, and then we see the ship flying away, and it cuts to black, and then real quick before we get like to the ranking and our final thoughts, I want to say in the credits I saw Benny was voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, and the whole time I thought I would like the whole show or the whole episode. I was like, that guy sounds super familiar. I think it's Yuri, and the reason I know Yuri, and you'll know this too.
Yeah.
He voices Spider-Man in the PlayStation games.
Yep.
And like the whole time I was thinking, man, that sounds like him. And I waited in the credits, and when I saw it, and I was like, I thought that was kind of cool because I love those games, and I think he does a great job as the voice for Peter and stuff. So
I didn't check the credits, but you saying this, I can now like totally see that now.
Like the whole episode, I was saying to myself, like everything he said, I was like, that is 100% him.
Yeah. Because
I've played that game so many times, it was like I can just recognize his voice.
That's pretty cool.
I like him a lot as like a voice actor and stuff. Obviously because I love the Spider-Man games so much. So.
All right. So
what would you rank this?
I ranked it a 5. Because
I also ranked it a 5.
Yeah, we get to see like more of the criminal aspect of Star Wars, but it obviously doesn't advance the story much. It just like it's a part 2 of the last episode.
Yeah.
It's relatively quick to like getting the Marauder back. I didn't think it would be that easy.
Yeah, it didn't really have an impact. The only thing I can think of that I'm kind of interested in is like now they're probably going to go back to Sid because Sid still never sent them help. So
that's true. They didn't give any help.
I'm wondering, like, I bet they'll go back to Sid and confront her, and maybe that's where we'll get the separation from them, which I'm hoping for. I hope they go their separate ways because I'm done with kind of the Sid stuff.
I agree. Yeah.
It's not a bad episode, but it's just not what I want from this show.
There's no Crosshair still.
Where in the world is he? We've had him in one episode, and we have I think 6 episodes left now.
Yeah.
And like, where is he? We've went this whole season.
The last 6 of these better be Crosshair. All right. I mean, we haven't seen much of the Empire at all, to be honest. Like, no. I want to see like what's going on with the clones and everything.
The few episodes we truly got with the Empire were all great episodes. The 2 like Senate episodes and then the Crosshair episode. But I just don't know. I'm not, because even season 1, like season 1 had its fair share of like the Sid mission stuff, but we also got a lot of development with Crosshair, and we had a lot of involvement with the Empire, and the Empire or the Bad Batch trying to find their way in the universe while the Empire's at large, and like we're just not getting any of that. This has been just a lot of random stuff, and like. At least season 1 had an excuse for the Sid missions because, like I said, they're just trying to get their footing, get like some money, and get back on their feet. But this is it just seems random, and like I don't want to be that person that says stupid filler and everything because you never know what might come back into play. But I don't know. I don't know what they're doing really.
I don't know either. I mean, I have hope though for the rest of the season.
I hold out hope. I mean,
think
the last few episodes could be amazing, but
I think they'll pull
I
through.
don't know.
I want to see
feel
more
like
Bad
I'd
Batch
rather
getting
have
tied
a
in with the Empire.
yeah.
I want to see like both of them together, because I mean that's what actually will drive the story like to a next level.
And that's what I'm saying. Like at least season 1 had that. This hasn't even done that. They haven't crossed paths or anything.
Yeah.
So
still, it was like a nice little thing. I guess we get to see.
It's a nice little episode, but it's just not what I want from this seasons. Like it kind of would have worked as a good like Clone Wars mission, but not at this time in the galaxy, you know. And I don't know. I would have rather had a shorter season where all this stuff gets cut out and we only have great episodes than to have a longer season where it's just kind of stuff like this. Like now, maybe I'm taking it for granted because it is still Star Wars and at least it's not like bad.
I like but you gotta have like some, like not everything has to be story driven. You can have like some extra stuff, but like it's getting a little bit too much right now.
I feel like they've just overdone it a little bit. Like it kind of worked with Clone Wars because it all had like character development towards like characters in the prequels, but I don't know. It just doesn't really work for me here. I like the filler stuff in Clone Wars, but I just don't really like it in this. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, but that was the episode. We're at the 10 episode mark.
10th episode, so yep. 6 more.
6 more to go. We hope that we see more Empire, more Crosshair, more development, and we'll see you guys.
Hopefully you enjoyed.
Time.
If you did, like and subscribe. Yep.
We'll catch you later.
We got shorts coming out on every Sunday. We're gonna be starting What If soon. Every other Saturday. We just don't. We're trying to work out our schedules. Yeah. But hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.